Hello, and welcome to another version of Visions of What Is to Come. I'm May, better known as May Chosen One, and welcome to my channel. I'm going to share a vision that I had. Well, it was actually an open eye vision. When I was lying down on my bed, I wasn't really asleep. And when I say open eye, I guess this is how I describe it. I wasn't asleep, so open vision. I guess not open eye, but open vision. While I was lying on my bed, and I seen like and I'm not sure which city it was, but I could see the skyline view of a city, and all of a sudden I seen like it illuminate to like red or orange. It was like this unusual color. This not from the sun. You know how sometimes you see a sunset is the most beautiful color. This was not like that. It looked like, to me, it was like a bomb. It could have been a bomb that was dropped. It just alarmed me when I saw it. I didn't look at it like, oh, look at that horizon, it's beautiful. No, I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, it looked like, to me, it could have been a bomb, or it was on, like the city was on fire, and the flames was all the way up, like to the sky. And so I saw that kind of alarmed me. But then I was lying there, and then I could see these beings, and I guess one way of describing them is they had to have been alien. They wasn't human-like. And it was weird because I seen them first, and then I saw like a baby that was like in this, it seems like it would be like in a sci-fi movie, and I'm not a sci-fi person. I'm not. As I stated in one of my other videos, I probably maybe seen a whole episode of Star Trek when I was a little girl, because my parents were looking at it. I never followed them. I never was one of those people that watched alien movies and stuff, so it's not like something that was in my psyche that, like somebody would say, well, maybe that was in your mind. No, it wasn't. First of all, I was lying there trying to go to sleep. These are things that, came up in my, well, I call it my mind's eye, but my eyes is closed like this, but it plays out like a movie. That's how I see visions. Not all the time, but that's one way I see them. Okay, and if you follow me, you know how I see the many ways I see visions. But anyway, I seen like these aliens, and they didn't look like the Greys, but they wasn't nice looking aliens either. Okay, they were kind of gruesome looking, and I knew they wasn't human, and it wasn't demons, because I heard the word alien when I saw it. Then all of a sudden I saw a baby that looked like it was in like a cabbage or something. It was weird because it was like, it was strange. It looked like it was some kind of fruit or something. And then I remember, touching, my husband. I was like, I just had a vision. He was like, what? And I was like, I seen, like a baby, and this baby was like in this like this little leaf or pot or something. He's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. He said, because that's how Superman came back to Earth. I was like, what? And like I said, I'm not one of those ones. There's certain type of movies I like. And I remember seeing Superman years and years ago when I was a child. But, when I was trying to go to sleep again, I wasn't thinking of Superman or whatever. And he was like, that's how Superman came to Earth. He was in like some kind of a, vegetable pot or something. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, yeah, it was a child. And it was like Caucasian, and it had blonde hair and blue eyes. I looked right at the child. And my eyes closed, but I could see it playing out. And he was like, wow, that definitely, he came, here, they found him in that. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay. And so that was just like making sense of the whole. First I saw aliens, then I saw this baby that was in some like cabbage pot or something, It was like, okay, so I interpret that as, I had said before, aliens are here. And we have the gruesome ones, like they call the Greys, the bad ones that look kind of, monstrous, monstrous. We have those ones that, don't look good or not easy on the eyes. But then you have those ones that's here that looks like you and I. And they created the first human. They said they created a non-soul human. I was reading somewhere on Facebook, somebody had posted it. I belong to a lot of different, like end time groups and stuff. Just seeing, when I see something, I like to know, like other people that prophetic are seeing it too. Before I post anything, I have faith in my visions, but a prophet is subject to another prophet. And like I said, it's just the calling. Some people call me a seer, some people call me a prophetess. Some people, just call me May. I don't really care. But the gift that I have operates in the prophetic, okay, in the church world. Anyway, so I like to see what other people are saying as well, and then I'm like, okay, I saw this, or I saw that, or okay, yeah, this, this confirms that. But the alien thing, yeah, there are some people who are seeing things like that, but they're considering you weird, and if you talk like that, but I don't really care, because I heard the Spirit tell me that when the stuff hit the fan, people channel like mine who don't have a whole lot of subscribers gonna go up to the millions, because all those people who've been telling them you're gonna be raptured up out of here, got all these thousands of viewers, or we're gonna go up out of here. No, you're gonna go through tribulation before the second coming of Christ. That's what you're gonna go through. You don't have to believe what I'm saying, but when the stuff start happening, which is happening in front of your eyes right now, some of you are blind, you just can't see, who land on this channel, watching my videos, and they like, oh, she's tripping, we're gonna be raptured out of here. Why would we be raptured out of here? We the most wicked generation there is. So there's people getting their head cuts off in other countries. Are we any better than them? Okay, when are we gonna stand up for Christ? Say other than in our safe little world and our safe churches. Now it's not even safe, because people are gonna change their mind about going to churches now. You see what the devil is doing. He's trying to get you out of the buildings, because people are going to start mimicking what this guy did. And we're going all the way back to the 60s with the 4 little girls got a bomb in the church. It's getting ready to get really bad. And it's because, the Lord is preparing us for the tribulation period. And people don't want to believe it. And, do me a favor. Go look at the channels that said somebody going to be raptured. And go look at the channels that people say we're going to go through the tribulation. What they call mid-trib, post-trib, whatever. It's not pre-tribulation, but it's post-trib and mid-trib. Personally, I think what I've been seeing, it's got to be mid-trib. And I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything, but I know I grew up being taught we was going to be raptured up out of here. And the Lord began to start dealing with me and showing me things and let me know, no, you're not. You're going to go through a tribulation period. Okay? And when the stuff hit the fan, he says it's going to be a great falling away from the church. It's going to be a great falling away. I believe because so many people are going to be so upset that they didn't get raptured. They didn't prepare. And now they got to go stand in one of those lines to get in the market to get some food, because are you going to watch your child starve, or what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? You got a choice between going to one of them FEMA camps and eat, for your family can eat, or starve. Okay, it's like, you're going to go to one of the FEMA camps if you haven't prepared, and God will stretch what you got. Some of us may not even have a lot, but God can supernaturally, we know that He's a God that there's nothing that's too hard for Him. We can see miracles and miracles and miracles that He has performed, and even in my life, He has performed miracles and opened up doors and things, that I knew shouldn't have happened, but it was God. Okay, so He telling us to prepare. You telling me that it's so hard for Him to stretch our food? No. Have you ever looked in your wallet, know you didn't have any money, and looked in your purse, and then you go back and look in another purse and you find $20, and you looked in that purse and you needed it for something? I've had that happen to me. I've had that happen where I had no money in my account. All of a sudden, was money in my bank account. I'm like, where did this come from? I've had things, a check come through the mail when I needed money, and I was like, where did this come from? And it was something that some discrepancy from years ago, but the time was just right. Those people say, oh, that's a miracle. Yeah, it's a God opened up a door, a way out of no way. When it seems like you have no way of finding any escape, there God show up, boom, just like that. Now He can do that. He's gonna do it even more so in the end times. And I didn't mean to go rant, but I just want people to know. I don't have that many subscribers, and that's okay. If I only had 2 subscribers, that's 2 people that's listening to what the Lord is telling me, and you're not going to regret it, because when it comes down to it, you're going to be sitting back watching when they start announcing whatever they're going to announce on this TV, okay, and people start looting and rioting. You could just look at, like, if something happened, and we just watched recently in Baltimore, how they tore that city up. Okay, imagine how the president get on there and announce, okay, well, the economy is falling, and we're gonna have to go to another we have to go to another currency. You have 1 month before we cut off this currency, okay, or the banks is just shut. You're not gonna be able to get your money out, and people need food. Do you actually think that people gonna sit around and say, oh well, too bad we can't get no food? They're gonna go in the stores and riot it and break in people's house and do whatever they gotta do to feed their kids. Okay, that's why you better have some weapons to protect yours. Okay, and even if they do gun confiscation, get you some bow and arrows or a sword or whatever whatever the Lord leads you to get. These shows like The Walking Dead, they're trying to show you what you need to get to survive. These shows that they're showing you, it's because they're trying to send a message. And Illuminati like to play mind games like that. If you look at Family Guy, okay, I sometimes get on YouTube and I'll watch other people's videos, and I gotta think of the person's name because I'm not really sure who it is. But this person always posting how Family Guy knew Bruce Jenner was gonna come out of the closet and do a gender transformation. They'll show a show that was like a year or two ago when Bruce Jenner was coming out of the closet. They'll show a Boston Marathon before it happened, like a year before it happened. It's like they like to play mind games like that. So you watch this show not because you watching it because it's entertainment. Watch it because they be sending messages. Okay, they be sending clear messages of what they get ready to do. Okay, so like I said, go and look at other channels. Watch how many subscribers subscribe to people who got the pre-trib rapture, and then watch how many people who subscribe. Watch how many subscribers people who got this saying you're gonna go through the tribulation. You will see it's a big difference. Okay, but then you watch when the stuff hit the fan, how those channels like mine and some other gonna go up, and at that point I'm gonna take it right off. I'm going to take it right off because that's what the Spirit told me to do. I'm going to take it right off. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm going to delete it all. So I suggest you save these if you can. Download them because when the stuff hit the fan, yeah, I was already told to delete it. Delete them. I probably let it stay up there for like a week. After that, doop, doop, it's coming right down. That's what the Spirit told me to do, and that's what I want to do. Okay, also I want to give some instructions to people that have children. I was lying there, and the Spirit was just talking to me, telling me things, and say, tell them, the ones who got children, start playing little games with your children, like hide and seek, or the quiet game, play hide and seek. So, if somebody come knocking, at at a place where you are, and you got to be quiet, teach your children now how to play those games, like the quiet game. Okay, we're gonna hide and let's be really quiet, so they'll know, and they think it's a game, so they won't panic and stuff like that. Or teach them, let's do the quiet game. Let's see who could be the quietest, because there may be a situation where, you have to remain quiet, and you don't want the child to make noises or whatever. The Lord spoke that to me. Okay, and so I know when the Lord gave me instructions, and let me tell you something, it took me about 3 weeks to make this video because I didn't want to make it, but I kept hearing the Spirit, I kept hearing in my spirit, obedience is better than sacrifice. I didn't want to make it, and my husband was like, you say you're gonna make that video, you say you're gonna make it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it. And I didn't want to make it because it gives me no pleasure to sit here and tell you the things that I'm seeing. It doesn't give me any pleasure. It does not give me any pleasure at all to tell you these things. It's very disheartening, because I'm like, okay, everything is going to change. It's happening. Things are happening as we speak every day. They're not covering a lot that's going on, in others countries. There's a collapse of the economy. I think it was, I hear Alex Jones, go to Alex Jones' channel, and he was saying a lot about there was something happening in Europe that that letting the United States know. And I mean, it's like, it's overwhelming when you get all this information, and I didn't want to make the video. I just felt like, it seemed like I'm up here talking doom and gloom, and it's kind of depressing, but this is what I'm seeing. And then when it happened, I would be like, okay, Lord, I thank you for showing me, to prepare. And can you imagine how you would feel if you didn't prepare, if you didn't know? you'll be worse off. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's not going to get any better, but the Bible talks about it. In the last days, you know, they will be cutting your head off for Christ's sake. They could be doing a lot of things to people, but they're chopping heads off, okay? And they don't care how old you are. They're chopping heads off left and right if you're a Christian. Okay, so that's just a coincidence? No. Okay? And they said, excuse me, my lips are really dry. They said that, you know, ISIS is already in the United States. You know, so it's going to start over here. We're going to start probably hearing soon about, you know, they found this person over here. It's happening. And yeah, I think it was somewhere that just happened. It was, I saw it on TV, and they showed up to some place, and they found the man's body. His head was decapitated right in the United States. It was on. They played it on CNN briefly. Sure did. So that I just thank the Lord for reminding me right in it. It's already happening. It's just gonna get worse, and all we can do is just pray ye for one another. I want to say thank you all for, you know, listening to me and to what the Lord is telling me. I know we may not be the popular ones right now, and I'm not in it for popularity contest. I'm in it because this is what the Lord told me to do. The subscribers that know that something is going to happen, like myself, just want to be ready. So we'll have to go big and, you know, and send no suit line and get no chip. You know, they showed a man get the chip, and they put it in his skin, and he went to try to get into the building, and it didn't work. It was like live TV. It was so funny. It's happening. All of that. When my parents were living, we used to think that was some woo, you know, that was woo. That could, you know, that's, you know, that's like way off in, you know, sci-fi land or something. It's here. It's here. You know, I watched the man get it embedded, and then he went and tried to open up a door. And he was overseas, and it did not work. And it was like he started laughing, and the news anchor started laughing. It's happening. You know, so, you know, just, you know, keep praying, keep believing. For those of you who live on this channel don't know, you know, Jesus, you know, repent and, you know, or accept the Lord into your life and do the best you can. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. Ain't none of us perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. We all make mistakes. This is a faith walk, and we just have to keep trying and keep moving forward until the Lord comes back for us. Again, thank you for watching my videos. May God bless you, and may heaven shine upon you.